Explosion rocking a major tourist area in Istanbul, Turkey. The blast killing 10, wounding at least 15. There is no immediate claim of responsibility, but Turkish security officials are telling Reuters that ISIS involvement, the Islamic State, is a high probability. President Erdogan moments ago blaming a suicide bomber from Syria. Joining me now on the phone is former Pentagon official KT McFarland. KT, to describe where in Istanbul this took place, it is a major tourist center that many foreign tourists visit. It is a historic area in Istanbul. Talk to me about the significance of the placement of this bomb.
It's like Istanbul's Times Square. It's the major tourist and shopping area. It's right next to the major blue mosque. Like Times Square is very near St. Patrick's Cathedral. So they couldn't have struck at a more busier place, a more symbolic place religiously, and also for the tourist trade. And frankly, Dagan, it was only a matter of time before this happened. And it's not really an attack against Turkey as much as it's an expansion of the fighting that's burning across the entire Middle East, from North Africa to Iraq, Syria, all the way to the Saudi Peninsula, soon maybe even including Saudi Arabia itself. The Turkish president, as you said, President Erdogan, whom I've met before, he gave a rambling speech saying that it was a Syrian suicide bomber. But at the same time, he also criticized the Kurds. The reason it might have been a Syrian suicide bomber is Turkey has a NATO air base, and that's being used for attacks against ISIS, the bombing raids we're doing against ISIS. But Turkey's also fighting the Kurds. Turkey also has a very porous border between the Islamic State and Turkey. And Turkey has some 2 million Syrian refugees. So all of these ingredients together, frankly, it was just a matter of time before it happened.
KT, where do we stand in all of this? You talk about ISIS, you talk about the Kurds, and how do we fit into this picture? Because it becomes increasingly complicated. We didn't even mention Russia.
Right. And you're right to say it's complicated. The Middle East is now where everybody's fighting everybody else. We're there. We're supposedly helping the Syrian rebels fight against Assad, but we're also at the same time fighting against ISIS. The Turks are letting us use their air base. They're supposedly fighting against ISIS, but they're really fighting against their traditional enemies, the Kurds. The Russians are there, and they're there to prop up Assad, so they're fighting against the people that we're supposedly supporting. The Iranians are there. They're supporting the Baghdad, Iraq government, who's fighting ISIS, but is really using the opportunity to make sure that the Sunnis and the Kurds don't rise again. The Islamic State is trying to expand into all of these regions, is fighting the Iraqi government, is fighting the Syrian government, and is fighting anybody in this way. So it's really hard to pick this knot apart. Everybody's fighting everybody else.
Right. KT, thank you for calling in. It's terrific to talk to you, as always. KT McFarland.
Thank you.